Welcome to Good for Bitcoin, a weekly show recorded live every Friday where we recap the top events of the week and talk about everything that is good for Bitcoin. If it's built on Bitcoin, then it's good for Bitcoin. Let's get started.
Content shared on this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute financial, investment, or legal advice. The views and opinions expressed are those of the host and guests and do not reflect the official policy or position of any other agency, organization, or company. We encourage you to conduct your own research and consult with a qualified professional before making any financial decisions.
Well, hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Good for Bitcoin, your weekly pulse on Bitcoin innovation. We're recording this a day early, so thank you to everybody for tuning in live who might be here. And a bit of a lighter news week as well, but still a few interesting stories that we're going to cover. Kate, how was your week?
Hey, Brandon. Yeah, it was a good week. Thanks for doing the show early with me this week. And I mean, it was a good week, except we got a little hate on the timeline, which we're going to get into.
We sure did. More toxicity than I'm used to.
I know. I guess that's part of putting yourself out there is you got to be willing to be exposed to some haters. And I mean, it wasn't so bad. And I mean, it's a non-account, so I don't take it too personally, but
yeah, you have to think every time that I see people acting really dumb online, you have to think that they're either usually they're kids. Usually they're kids. They're kids that don't know how the world works, and they don't read, and they just read a headline and then they react, and they don't actually watch the thing that we posted or anything like that. But yeah, we're referring to last week we covered BIP 110 and we received some hate mail that we're gonna go through.
We'll address.
It'll be fun, and we'll wrap up our BIP 110 coverage. I feel like after this, probably the next time that we'll talk about it is when it fails, and we'll just mention it.
There you go.
Because that's definitely gonna happen. But yeah, let's go through public companies that are buying Bitcoin. We'll start with Strive. They bought 18 BTC. They now hold 19,900 Bitcoin.
Nice. Then we have Orange Bitcoin. They bought 8 in total, and they now hold 3,912.
And Canaan Inc. added 49 BTC to their treasury this month, which are part of the proceeds from their mining operations.
Cool. And then we have Strategy. They didn't buy Bitcoin again this week, but they did increase their USD reserves by 450 million, and they now have 3 billion in their reserves. So it gives them a little over 20 months of dividend coverage at current prices.
Yeah, I have a feeling that they're going to continue kind of doing that week over week until they can get STRC back up to around $100. They just need to continue to inject confidence in that product, and maybe they'll sell more Bitcoin. We'll see. But yeah, they haven't bought any Bitcoin now for quite a while. It's been maybe a month, which for them is a very long time.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Metaplanet, speaking of STRC, Metaplanet also announced that they will begin to offer their own version of Bitcoin-backed digital credit in the future. I didn't see a specific date yet for that, but Metaplanet is going to take a page out of Strategy's playbook again and offer an STRC equivalent in Japan.
Nice.
This is kind of cool. I'm going to share this photo, and we can take a look at it. In more strategy news, they released this Bitcoin Bank Adoption Index. Let me go back to actually sharing my screen so we can take a look at it. And basically what this index is doing is tracking banks' adoption of Bitcoin and crypto-friendly practices. So we can see here there's things like stablecoin participation, ETF participation, whether they offer custody, over a dozen other aspects. On average, they found that banks are currently at around a 32% index score. So certainly a way to go until they get to 100% coverage across the board. In their findings, the best was Fidelity at 71%. And the worst is the Royal Bank of Canada at 13%. What's going on?
Not surprising in the least. Canada's suffering up here, Brandon.
I was surprised that JP Morgan Chase was so far up on the list. I was expecting them to be like down there.
Yeah.
You know, down there with Canada, I guess. But they were like number 3, number 4 on their index. So they're at what's the 43%. So I mean, compared to Fidelity 71%, that's still quite a big jump. But still was surprised to see that.
It's funny because we approved like the spot ETFs years before you guys did.
Yeah.
But
I know.
I don't know. It's just
yeah,
not
the
picking up
regulatory, acceptance there was certainly a lot better, a lot earlier.
This is cool though. I like this.
Yeah, I think I guess I haven't been paying too much attention. I don't know like how often Strategy is doing these types of like research based segments, but would love to see more of this type of stuff from them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll incentivize them at all once they see like they're being called out.
Yeah. I mean, there's certainly some ones on here that are a little bit surprising that they're as low as they are. I feel like we talk about Standard Chartered quite a bit, and they're kind of lower down on the list. And yeah, again, I'm surprised to see Chase up there so high, considering how much Jamie Dimon hates Bitcoin. You got to watch what they say, not what they do, I guess.
That's true. Very true.
Anyway, we'll follow up from our last episode. We got some hate mail. I figured we could rapid fire through some of the comments that we received. I think a lot of these came from YouTube, but I got a couple of Twitter mentions as well. First one is ill-informed on BIP 110 from the both of you. It's all about Bitcoin is money, not spam. I was considering subscribing. I'll pass.
Oh, too bad. The next one, a couple of simple-minded people leaning on Lord Saylor and his oversimplified take.
Yeah, I guess so. I liked this one a lot. It just said, stupid thumbnail.
You should go back and look at all of the other ones because this one was pretty good, actually.
It's a good point. For those that didn't see, it's there's like that classic meme of like the guy, and there's like two castles in front of him, and one is like a light castle and one is a dark castle, and there's a path, and it's like, which path are you going to go down? And obviously the BIP 110 was the dark castle, and yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty well executed adaptation of the meme, but not everybody thought that way, so that's okay.
Oh, look, another cookie cutter podcast prop up. They make you people in a factory or something? That one was
I guess
good.
so. Yeah. Yeah. We've been doing this for over 2 years now, which is pretty crazy to think about, but
yeah,
we didn't just prop up just for BIP 110, I guess. That's the rebuttal there. I mean, yeah, we talked about it up front on last week's episode. Like, part of the reason that we avoided covering BIP 110 was because there is so much controversy that it's like the conversation is just not productive, and it's just not like worth covering in a lot of cases. But I did figure it was at least, the time for the fork is coming up pretty soon, and I felt that like we should probably talk about it. But I think we gave it like a pretty fair shot. Like we read straight up portions from the actual BIP. Like, we can disagree on the implementation, but I think we gave it a pretty fair shot. But I don't know. I was initially kind of angry reading some of the messages, but now I just kind of don't care because like I just know that this thing just has no chance of passing, and these people are all just going to lose and just tail between their legs kind of vibe. So
I agree. And also, like, none of them engaged with anything that we said. Like, did they even listen? I'm not sure if they did. Like, they didn't really have anything useful or critical. It was personal attacks, kind of. And, like, again, it's just like they didn't really critique anything that we said. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
As quickly as it comes, it goes for me.
Yeah, thanks to the haters. Thanks for the engagement. It was our most streamed podcast since May. That's literally was the title of like the episode last week was if we talk about what BIP 110, will you tune in? So I guess the answer was yes.
Nice.
Anyway, we'll talk about BIP 110 one more time when it fails in a few weeks, but that's probably all for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one I saw on the timeline this morning. Maybe if you just like want to pull up the graph, it could be fun to look at, but it was written by Chamath, and it was just like a deep dive on why, not, I guess why, but which tokens are up in the crypto winter. And it's really only one category of tokens. So if you look at the chart, you can see like everything is down this year. Bitcoin was down 40%, Ethereum was down 30%, meme coins, DeFi, they're all in the red, except for the one on the right. And as you can see, this is privacy coins. So they are up 127% this year. And this comes after 73 exchanges actually delisted and kicked most of the assets off their exchanges. So even though it's basically kind of a banned asset on a lot of exchanges, it's the top performing asset in crypto right now. And so Chamath was just getting into why this is the case. So I thought I'd recap his post a little bit because it is kind of cool. So yeah, he's basically saying like every Bitcoin transaction is public forever. You know, the coin has its entire history written on the blockchain. You can follow it. And what happens is if you're ever caught up in maybe a scam or some kind of like, I don't know, ill-advised transaction, you can be rejected or basically, you know, your transactions won't go through. So it kind of like breaks this basic rule of money, which is a dollar is a dollar wherever it's been. Gold doesn't remember where it's been, but Bitcoin never forgets. So it's the same thing, you know, with wallets. Like it is not anonymous. Obviously, your name isn't attached there, but everything is public and verifiable on Bitcoin's blockchain. So if you're ever, you know, in a leaked database or, if an exchange can like trace that your account or your wallet has been risky, like you could, you know, have your transactions blocked. But with privacy coins, a lot of this gets fixed, and a lot of this comes from zero knowledge proofs. Basically, the network can confirm you own the coins, you're not double spending, but you're not seeing who paid or how much. And so it kind of verifies the payment without needing to see the payment. So he's getting into like, is this bad for Bitcoin? And he's saying no, because transparency is what won institutions over and won a lot of people over. He's like, you can't, you know, run an ETF on a chain that nobody can see. And with ZK proofs coming through BitVM and stuff like this, it'll also create private payments and an auditable base. So basically, bottom line was that privacy coins didn't beat Bitcoin this year. They just kind of showed what should be added in the future. And so it is kind of good for Bitcoin technically. You don't need like an entirely new money, but you just kind of need this feature added on top of Bitcoin, and you know, Bitcoin can keep its monetary premium, monetary asset. So yeah, I thought it was a good read, but I was crazy shocked to see how high up 127% that privacy coins were.
That is a pretty crazy chart.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about this in a long time. And this article kind of reminded me of it. Back when I used to work at BlockFi, so this was like 2020. This was kind of back when, you know, regulation was still really running rampant, or like over-regulation was still running like really rampant in the space. And I remember, because I was like doing socials for BlockFi, you know, I would see people DMing us, like looking for support, saying that like, oh, like my account got flagged because, you know, maybe I was transacting with this other person that used like a mixing service, and then their account had gotten like flagged as a result of that. And it just reminded me of that fact. Like, even if you weren't I mean, I was taking them for their word. Maybe they were actually the one that like used it, and you know, you weren't supposed to at the time.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, even if, you know, your friend, you know, used like a mixing service, or maybe your friend like transacted with North Korea or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of a really extreme example. Even though it wasn't you, the fact that you are associated with, these other wallet addresses, put you on a list as well. So, yeah, it just reminded me of that. I haven't thought about that in a long time. It's pretty crazy how far we've come with that type of stuff. I feel like I don't hear stories of that nearly as much as I used to.
No, certainly not. But
yeah. I guess I can take the next one.
Yes.
It turns out Vibe Watch might be good for Bitcoin. I don't really talk about Vibe Watch on the show too much. I don't really like to do like a ton of self promotion, but I think I did talk about it when I first announced it publicly, and it's been just something that I've continued to work on ever since. And the really exciting thing is I've secured a $10,000 grant from the Stacks Endowment to create this Stacks Sentiment Index. So first, what is Vibe Watch? Vibe Watch is a community intelligence tool for Web3 teams. So I've been working in the social media and community space in crypto for over 5 years now, almost 6 years. And it's something that I've kind of been building. This Vibe Watch tool is something that I've been building since the beginning of this year, after wishing that I had a tool like this. For all the different social media tools that I've used in the past, they all have just fallen short on many things related to crypto. A few of them are like the fact that most of them don't support like Telegram, most of them don't support Discord, like most of them don't support the native tools that we use in crypto. And a lot of them treat like any conversation about crypto as spam, which is like obviously not helpful if you're a crypto company. So a lot of like the tools for filtering out spam just don't work if you are a crypto company, which is super frustrating because in crypto we get a lot of spam, right? And that basically filters out all of the legitimate conversation that's happening in the space. So I've tried all these tools. Yeah, none of them have understood my brand or my community. So it just meant like a ton of sifting through noise and spam, trying to find actual messages. And usually that meant just not using any tools and just using the native platforms and having to do that. And on the other side, it was also difficult to take kind of my own like internal knowledge and internal understanding of like how the community was feeling, and on like a very consistent basis, on like a weekly basis, taking those feelings and distilling them into like a report that the rest of like my team could read and would actually want to read and appreciate reading, and not just focusing on like vanity metrics like impressions, which are so easily gamed. So also the reports aspect was a big thing that I was looking to solve for. So Vibe Watch does those things. But what this grant is paying for is a few things. For one, it's giving basically free Vibe Watch subscriptions to everyone in the Stacks ecosystem. So if you represent a brand in the Stacks ecosystem, whether it's a meme coin, a DeFi project, like whatever, send me a DM. I have a free subscription for you. We have 30 that are budgeted, but I'll probably end up allocating more just to ensure that we have full coverage. And also wanted to shout out the companies that have been early and quick to get on board with doing this. So Official, Stacks, also JingSwap, Hermetica, and Bitflow. And I'm working on getting Zest and Stacking DAO on very, very soon. So we'll have a lot of the big ones already covered, which is really cool. And yeah, we're getting of course more. So I got to do that and have pretty much the entire ecosystem on board by the end of this month. So please send me a DM if you are in the Stacks ecosystem. And after we have everybody using it, for me, it's going to be really helpful to like just get more feedback about the tool and continue to improve it. But the main thing is creating sort of an aggregate sentiment dashboard for the Stacks ecosystem. So we use tools like the Fear and Greed Index, Crypto Fear and Greed Index, right? That kind of sources public, uses public sources, right? Maybe it scans X, it's scanning just like what people are saying on public sources, but it's not going into the Telegrams, it's not going into the Discords, it's not, getting kind of the full picture. So I thought there was an opportunity to, if you were capturing, let's take we'll take Zest as an example, right? So Zest has a Discord, they have a Telegram, they have X. If you are, not capturing their Telegram and their Discord, you're only capturing like, a third of the conversation that's happening in their community. So all of these tools, all of these sentiment tools, are doing just that, right? They're not really giving you the full picture, the full story of what the community is saying, how the community is feeling. And I think VibeWatch has that opportunity to potentially offer like certain APIs, like sentiment APIs and stuff in the future. And this is the test: is can we do this for the Stacks ecosystem? So that's phase 2, is to create this aggregate sentiment dashboard for the ecosystem that anybody will be able to go on and access and see what is the health of the community, what is the health of the ecosystem. And also, because we need to keep things on chain, we'll have an X402 layer as well that'll allow AI agents, AI BTC agents. There's over 1,000 of them now to access this data, and then they can use it in their trading strategies or for news reporting or whatever else these AI agents think might be useful. So super excited for it. If you're in the Stacks ecosystem, again, please send me a DM so I can get you set up with a free subscription. And if you're not in the Stacks ecosystem, VibeWatch is available to anybody. So we still offer free trials. If you would like to go to vibewatch.io, you can check out more information there and sign up. And super excited for it. There's my pitch.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm so excited for this. I think this is going to be so useful. And I have been using it for the last month or so, and it has genuinely, I've caught comments that I otherwise wouldn't have. Also, it's also giving me a lot of content ideas because it's pulling, some of the biggest topics that were talked about recently. And yeah, I've just found it super useful. It's a very, really useful pulse on just what's happening. And, sometimes if you are in this role of community or content lead and, your executives they'll often just pop in and say what's community sentiment? How are people feeling? It can be really challenging to put that together in, a very simple visual. And so this has been very useful because we've been launching a lot of things, and there's just been some comments and feedback that have been caught through your dashboard that I've been able to flag and escalate and make a move on. So very cool. I'm super proud of you. This is such a cool tool that you've built, and it's going to be awesome to have you more integrated into the ecosystem again.
Thank you. Couldn't have asked for a better testimonial.
Clip that.
You have to just clip that and put it on the website. Thank you. That's super nice. And I'm excited to continue being in this ecosystem, continue building in it. I didn't talk on it, but yesterday the Stacks Endowment had this Twitter space, and you were hosting as well. That invited all the previous cohorts winners, and they were talking about their projects, and it's really cool to be in good company with all these people that are all really talented, and they're all just trying to build really cool stuff on Bitcoin in the Stacks ecosystem. And more to come. I guess I'll continue to talk about it probably a little bit more because I'll have more of an excuse to now that we're a little bit more on chain, I guess, than we were before.
Awesome. We can get into the next one. I saw that this morning, then I saw that you had already written about it, which I think is super cool. So we have the notorious Bitcoiner Lynn Alden. She announced Orange Juice. It's an alternative to a private equity. And they've raised $40 million to launch a company that is going to acquire, improve, and permanently hold cash flowing businesses. And this is all going to be backed by a Bitcoin treasury. So unlike traditional private equity, they're not buying these companies in order to flip them and sell them. They're buying them because they want to own them. They want to improve them, own them, and then use any cash that's generated by these businesses to buy new companies and basically build up this long-term Bitcoin treasury. So Orange Juice was found by partners from Ego Death Capital, which I love. Jeff Booth was probably one of the first Bitcoiners. He's Canadian, and he like really his book on the price of tomorrow like really sold me on Bitcoin. It was like one of the first things I read when I was going down the rabbit hole. And I just feel like he's such a sound Bitcoiner. So he's joined in on the venture. Then we have Lynn Alden, Nico Lechuga, and Andy Pitt, along with Adrian Steckel, Ruben Zweibon as operating partner, Ricardo Salinas. He's a Mexican founder and chairman of Grupo Salinas, and is also an anchor investor. So, yeah, pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Lots of big names behind this.
Yeah. It's quite legitimate. So they're initially going to acquire stable, cash flowing, generating businesses with 1 to 10 million in annual cash flow across a variety of different sectors. And you said here they were able to acquire orangejuice.com domain, and they say they do plan to go public in the future. So this is going to be one to watch.
How did they acquire orangejuice.com? Like, you got to think that like
no.
Minute Maid or one of these other, actual orange juice companies would be owning that already. That's surprising.
That's pretty cool. I just clicked their link. It looks awesome.
They do have a cool website. Orangejuice.com. Super interesting. It'll be really cool to I feel like this is it seems so obvious that there would be this type of company that would be like kind of backed by Bitcoin. But it just I don't know if it's really been done. So super interesting. Super cool. All right, couple small quick headlines to round it out. Eric Trump's Bitcoin mining bet has erased more than $600 million from his family's fortune. Shares of American Bitcoin have plunged from a peak of $140 last fall to under $6 now, leaving the company down more than 95% from its high. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. And then we have, which I thought was pretty cool, Bitcoin is now available on TikTok Shop.
Wow.
Never thought I would say that, but Fold is selling e-gift cards through TikTok Shop, basically allowing users to buy Bitcoin in denominations ranging from $25 to $500. And they can be purchased with pretty much any major payment methods. So pretty cool. I don't know if anyone's going to go on TikTok Shop and buy Bitcoin, but you can now.
I mean, I feel like anytime I'm on, TikTok, I, always get the people that are trying to like shill products on there. So I'd certainly, I would watch whatever somebody was trying to say if they were, trying to shill Bitcoin and
I would go on there and try and buy them at like a discounted price. I don't know if there was like, there was like those gift card websites where you could like list your gift card and you would sell it for less than what it was worth, but at least you didn't have the gift card. Like maybe that's an arbitrage strategy.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good point. I feel like TikTok also like they do a lot of like promotional things to like try to get you to buy more things from their shop. So maybe, I don't know, we'll see if these are eligible as part of those promotions, but we'll see. Lastly, I thought this was super interesting. I'm curious your thoughts on it. Zach XBT, who is like the famous on-chain sleuth that like finds like these people that commit hacks and fraud and stuff on chain and helps government entities to locate them. He made this post basically saying that all hardware wallets are quote complete garbage and does not advise using them for tasks like signing transactions or for storing funds. And instead, he recommends having a separate iPhone with its only purpose being to use as your hardware wallet. And I'm very curious what your thoughts are on that.
Is that just because he thinks that like companies have like behind the scenes access to your information? Or like you don't really know what's in the hardware?
He cited like a few things, like there's that, and then there's also like he just doesn't like how Ledger like kind of at a whim will like update their software or like update certain things, and that they made certain decisions in the past that I don't know, people weren't happy with. So I think he's kind of like grouping all of these hardware wallets into like Ledger. I saw like I think maybe it was like the CEO of like Trezor or something came out in response saying like, hey, we're not Ledger, like we're doing things a little differently. But yeah, I think I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like I mean, especially for something like me, like I use BitKey. I have a cold
Yeah.
card. I have like some of these options which are, much more open, I think, than something like a Ledger.
Yeah.
And I don't know if like having an iPhone would be better than those
I don't think so either. There's like
devices.
something about that like goes off in my head is like I don't necessarily agree with that. Like I would probably have more confidence and trust in I could maybe understand the Ledger piece. I mean, I feel like they've had some I don't know, some like PR stories that like weren't amazing, but there are a lot of great companies that like are producing super sound hardware, and I just feel like looping all of them in together as one is not super well thought through, which is kind
Yeah.
of an interesting take from him because he goes super into the details on
Hmm.
everything. But I don't know that I agree with that.
Yeah, I'll use like cold card as like a very extreme example. I don't know how
Yes,
familiar you are with that one,
I
but
have one. Yeah.
oh yeah, okay. So yeah, I mean the cold card is like a completely offline device.
Yep.
Like you can use it without ever connecting it to a computer. It doesn't have Bluetooth. It doesn't have like I don't think it even has like NFC. Like it doesn't have any kind of wireless connection in it.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
like
completely
truly a
air gapped.
cold. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like the iPhone obviously doesn't have any of that, right? It's like a completely connected device.
Yes.
So connections introduce risk. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, certainly it's not as user friendly maybe as an iPhone could be, but yeah, if you want like the most safe hardware device, I don't think I would say iPhone as as my recommendation.
Nope. Bring back the pen
All
and
right.
paper.
Yeah. Yeah. You can have like there's like people do like the washers. So they stamp the washers
Yeah, with
and
the steel. Yeah.
yeah, the cold steel things. Yeah. Yeah. Those are good. Those are cool.
Yeah, it works.
Okay. Thank you. I think that wraps up the week. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We will see you. I think next Friday we'll be on at the regular time.
Yep.
Thanks everybody for tuning in early today, and yeah, have a good weekend.